way to becoming a true and worthy brother. But he must be duly and truly prepared. And so let us now examine the qualifications one by one, and then examine ourselves to see if we can be considered a person who is a true and worthy brother. The internal qualifications. These are said to be those which lie within the candidate's own bosom and are not patent to the world. They refer to his own particular disposition towards the institution, an institution that he knows very little about, only what he hears. His motives and design in seeking entrance into it. Hence, they are known only to himself alone, and a knowledge of them can only be acquired from his own declarations. So when the questions are asked, you answer yes. It must be sincerely done, because it should say something to all of us. Therefore, in this setting, we must examine several aspects of things that are peculiar to this thing above, this order called Freemasonry. The first of these is free will and accord. In other organizations, they set up membership drives. In others, some members use their influence to solicit applications. Not so in Freemasonry, as it is wholly disagreeable with the spirit of our order to persuade anyone to become a Mason. Whoever seeks knowledge of the mysteries of the order must first be prepared in his heart. There is a moral qualification which would fit him for admission into a society which is founded on the purest principles of virtue and religion. But he must come too uninfluenced by the persuasion of friends. In other words, we as Masons should not try to persuade our friends and family to become members of the craft, and our experienced brethren should instruct that it is wholly in opposition to all our laws and principles to ask anyone to become a Mason, or to exercise any kind of influence upon the minds of others, except that of a truly Masonic life. You as Masons must live the example that they see, that makes them say, boy, that Monroe fellow, man, look at him. He's a Mason. I want to be like that. And so, we must not seek. We are to be sought. You must come to me. You should have come to me. I should never be approaching you. But invariably, that's what we do. It should always be borne in mind that the candidate who comes to our altar, not of his own free will and accord, but induced by the persuasion of his friends, no matter how worthy he may be otherwise, violates by so coming the requirements of the institution on the very threshold of its temple, and in 99 cases out of 100 fails to become imbued with that zealous attachment to the order which is absolutely essential to the formation of a true Masonic character. Uninfluenced is the other clause, uninfluenced by mercenary motives. There was a time when few except the good and true either sought for or gained admission into a Masonic lodge. For it was thought that such alone could find their affinities there. Masons then were comparatively few and were generally known and distinguished for those qualifications which the teachings of the order require on the part of all who would apply for admission. They were not those who would make merchandise of its benefits by prostituting them to the purpose of personal emolument. They were not of those who would seek through Masonic appliances to reinvigorate a decaying reputation and gain a prominence within the lodge that was unattainable without it. Or worse still, to use its influence to gain prominence elsewhere. But that which was unknown in the times when Masonry was struggling for its existence and when prejudice and bigotry barely tolerated Masonry's presence, has now become a crying evil. When Masonry, having outlived its slanderers and wrought out its own reputation, is to be classed among the most popular institutions of the day, and hence it becomes incumbent on every matron closely to inquire whether any applicant for initiation is invited to his pursuit by love of truth, a favorable opinion which he has conceived of the institution, and a desire to its instrumentality of benefiting his fellow creatures, or whether he comes to our doors under the degrading influence of mercenary motives. I will, if I may, Brother Deputy, say the